The greedy skeleton clutching gold. A skeletal figure swathed in ragged brown fabric commands the center of Dix's vision, its bony form hunched over a mountain of luminous gold coins. The eye is drawn first to the starkness of death, embodied in this figure whose fleshless limbs contrast violently with the shining, seductive hoard. The posture is one of feverish possessiveness, elbows jutted, spine curved protectively around the heap, as if shielding it from unseen threats. The artist's compositional isolation of this grotesque guardian serves to strip away any context or comfort, leaving only the stark encounter between death and material wealth. This is no mere allegory. It is an accusation, a visual charge against a society collapsing under the weight of its own greed. Dix's skeletal miser is not a relic of medieval morality, but a contemporary specter, an emblem of the self-consuming hunger that haunts the spirit of a morally bankrupt age. The emaciated form and its symbolism. The anatomy of the skeleton is rendered with unsettling precision. Ribcage stretched taut, spine arched unnaturally, limbs elongated in a parody of human form. Every curve and protrusion of bone amplifies the sense of depletion, of something essential having been stripped away by avarice. The richness of the gold only heightens this effect, casting the figure's emaciation into sharper relief. In Dix's hands, the skeletal anatomy is more than a symbol of physical death. It is the visual consequence of spiritual starvation. Greed here is not merely a personal failing, but a corrosive force that hollows out the self from within. The figure's lack of flesh, of vitality, presents a chilling vision of the soul desiccated by obsession, a reminder that the pursuit of wealth, unchecked, can leave only a shell where humanity once resided. Hands clutching the gold. The hands, rendered in painstaking detail, are the most animated part of the figure. Each bony finger is splayed and tense, digging into the gold as if to merge with it. The curvature of the phalanges, the strained ligaments suggested beneath parchment-thin skin, communicate a desperation that is both physical and psychological. These are not the gentle, open palms of generosity. They are claws, made monstrous by the frantic need to grasp and hoard. Dix's attention to the tactile reality of bone on metal intensifies the sense of obsession. The hand's relentless grip seems to defy the natural order, as if the skeleton believes its hold on wealth might forestall its own extinction. Through this gesture, avarice is revealed as an imprisoning force, one that compels the individual to cling ever tighter, even as everything else, health, community, identity, slips away. The skull's grim expression. The face of the skeleton is a study in calculated horror. Its eye sockets gape, dark and vacant, refusing any glimmer of warmth or recognition. The jaw is set in a perpetual toothy grin, a rictus that suggests both the mockery and inevitability of death. The skull's expression, stripped of all fleshly nuance, is paradoxically more expressive in its blankness. It taunts the living with the futility of their pursuits. Its grin is an echo of those who believe in the security of riches, a cruel joke played by mortality itself. By fusing the greedy with the dead, Dix creates a memento mori that is both personal and societal. The message is unambiguous. The accumulation of wealth is powerless against the universal fate that awaits all, and those who invest solely in material gain are left empty long before their final breath. The cloak as a symbol of decay. Draped around the bony frame is a cloak of dirty brown, its edges frayed and its fabric mottled by age and neglect. The cloak's folds fall heavily, suggesting the weight of years, and its coarse texture is rendered with a sensitivity that belies its subject. This garment is not a shield but a shroud, marking the passage from life into rot. Its earthy tones stand in bleak contrast to the gold's brilliance, hinting at the corruption that festers beneath surface allure. As the cloak envelops the skeleton, it reinforces the sense of suffocation and isolation. The figure appears not merely impoverished but abandoned, the victim of his own corrosive obsession. The artist's nuanced treatment of textile, its wear, its shadows, serves as a powerful metaphor for the gradual, inescapable decline brought about by moral decay. The gold coin's luminous texture. Against the figure's decrepitude, the gold coins blaze with unnatural luminosity. Each disc is carefully modeled to catch and reflect light, their surfaces glinting with a seductive promise of value and permanence. This radiance is not inviting, however. It is blinding, almost aggressive in its intensity. The coins form an impossible mound, their abundance bordering on the absurd. Yet it is precisely this excess that underscores the grotesquerie of the scene. By rendering the treasure with such attention to surface and shine, Dix exposes the false allure of material wealth. The coin's brilliance becomes a mask, concealing the decay it nurtures. Through this contrast, the artist makes visible the tension between surface and substance, reminding us that the pursuit of riches can illuminate only the void at the heart of greed. The dark background as void. The composition is anchored in a velvety blackness, a void that swallows all but the skeleton and its gold. This absence of environment or witness intensifies the sense of isolation. There is no world outside, no future or past, only the eternal present of possession and loss. The darkness serves not merely as a backdrop, but as an active agent, erasing context and hope alike. It is an abyss into which the figure and its treasure are slowly sinking, a visual metaphor for the loneliness and despair that attend unchecked avarice. By denying the viewer any escape from this claustrophobic space, Dix compels a confrontation with the consequences of moral collapse. The void is not empty. It is saturated with the silence of ruin and the stench of spiritual death. Moral lessons from the grotesque. The fusion of death and greed in Dix's grotesque anatomy acts as an indictment and a warning. By exposing every jagged contour of the skeletal figure's hunger, the artist lays bare the cost of unchecked avarice, not merely to the individual, but to the fabric of society itself. The grotesque here is not mere exaggeration. It is a weapon wielded against complacency and denial. In this visceral autopsy, beauty is sacrificed for truth, and horror becomes a tool of revelation. The painting compels viewers to reckon with the seductive power of wealth and the ease with which it can corrupt and consume. As a curator, one cannot help but reflect on the enduring relevance of Dix's vision. It is a relentless mirror held up to every age threatened by moral decay. The legacy of the seven deadly sins is thus not only its craft, but its uncompromising demand that we confront the ugliness at the core of human depravity and choose, if we can, a different path.